Do you automatically answer questions when you are asked? That is my question to you. Do you automatically answer questions? Or do you pause? Do you have a process of response versus reaction? Hi, guys. My name is Tara Long, and welcome to my channel if you're new or however you're watching this video. So, this really pertains to the natural law and the work, um, that work, but it also pertains to life, all of life, which it's the laws of nature, so of course it does, right? Um, so when you are asked a question, it is often it is kind of a default mode that we get into that we want to answer. Why do we want to do this? Why do we just, oh yeah, oh, let me answer this question. Because we generally want to be helpful, right? We generally want to be helpful and also to be good boys and girls. Oh, I know the answer to that. I know the answer. Oh, I'll tell you. Oh, I'll help you. And it's this reaction that we have, right? But what happens is when you're asked a question and you automatically react to that and speak before even thinking or processing that question really at all, and like, is this a question I want to answer? Do I need to answer it? What is the result of answering this question, right? But when you just react, your energy goes out, right? So this is also about mastering your energy. Your energy just goes out. You're just like, oh yeah, it's like you kind of, a little bit of vomit comes out energetically, right? And your energy is now out here, and whomever asked the question now has the power, right? And this isn't about having a power struggle, but your power, instead of being here in you, is now out there on this person, okay? On this other man or woman, I should say, because person means something else. So this is very helpful. I mean, if you're in relation with others, right, and they're asking you a question, and of course, and it's something that is, you want to answer, or it's appropriate to answer, or absolutely, you're going to answer that question, right? Like, hey, Tara, what would you like to eat? Going out to lunch with a friend. Where would you like to go? That's something where you're like, yeah, I'm gonna take that in. I'm gonna think about it. I'm gonna answer that question, right? But if I get pulled over, and I'm not telling anybody what to do or what not to do, okay? Sovereignty is all about personal responsibility first and foremost. But if I get pulled over, the first thing the man or woman is going to come to the door, and usually they'll ask, "Do you understand why I pulled you over?" First of all, we're talking about the word understand means to stand under. So they're asking you, "Do you stand under me?" Right? So as soon as you say, "Yes, I understand, I was speeding," or whatever, you've contracted with them, right? You've answered the question, you've contracted with them. So now they have a contract with you. In commerce, that's how things work in commerce. And remember that the government, quote unquote government, city, state, county, all of that, federal, it's a business. So they're coming to collect money from you, right? If you were speeding. Now, if you've committed a crime being you've harmed another, that's a whole different story. We're not talking about that. We're talking about traffic stops, all that BS. And they're trying to contract with you so that then you give them money, right? They work for whatever city they work for, county they work for, to collect money from you. That's their job. They may think that they protect and serve, but most of the time they're just harassing people, right, for money. So it's another story. But in answering the question, now your power is out there. So what can you do? I don't answer questions. You can say that. And I'm not just talking about with a cop, with any quote unquote authority who's asking you a question. So the power move there, and I mean keeping your power in you, is to respond with a question. Of course, the statement, I don't answer questions, first and foremost, but you can say, I don't answer questions, I only ask questions, or something to that effect, right? So when you're asking a question, this is also called equity, right? Where we're trying to find harmony and balance and bring both parties into wholeness. That's what equity is. So we're trying to bring both parties into wholeness. Questions are used a lot. Asking good questions, asking like if you're in court or something, which I'm not saying I know how, like if you have a court case, I'm not the person to to take you through that, because I have not had that experience, but I learn a lot. I study, I hear, I hear all the things. But asking questions is a powerful way to operate and to conduct yourself in the presence of, men and women who believe themselves to be authorities, right? And so you would be having to give them that authority by answering the question. So before you hop to and start answering questions, just take a minute, gather yourself, come into center. Is this a question? And questions can be answered, like if you're in, with a friend or your partner or what have you. We answer questions all the time with like body language, or a noise maybe, or silence even can be an answer to a question in the right context. But in the case of, when we're engaging with these men and women who are in positions of what they believe to be authority, just know that you have the power to not answer the question. You do not have to answer the question. You ask the question. You ask the question, right? It's just like somebody is coming to your door or calling you to harass or whatever. You do not have to answer. You do not have to engage with that individual. I watched a video of it was I think a defense attorney, a bar attorney, of course, defense attorney, and a police officer, a man acting as a police officer. They did this whole talk, mostly the attorney. They did this whole talk, and it consisted of basically saying to people, never, ever, ever talk to the police and answer their questions about anything. Right? You want to be helpful, especially if there was like a crime and something happened and you're a witness and they want to like talk to you and all the things. Their advice was never talk to them, because there's so many instances where they're looking for someone to blame. And if you're just innocent, you're like, oh yeah, totally, I'll answer all your questions, because that people think, oh, I'm innocent if I'm answering the questions. But in order to protect yourself, because that system is, as we know, that system has a lot of flaws in it, right? And it's not there to first and foremost to protect you. It's not. It's good. It's great, and I'm not digging on those that do have that occupation. A lot of them probably do think they're doing good, and they're there to protect and serve, but it's just become kind of the opposite. So just know that you don't have to answer questions. Okay, that's the point of this video, because then your power's out there, and instead you want to keep it right here. Okay, and answer when it feels right to do so. Right. And if you are stopped by a cop and you don't feel strong and centered in who you are, and knowing who you are, and you're just crazy with fear and all the things, then just act the way you always have. Like, don't pressure yourself, but just know that you have the option to not answer a question. Okay. You have the right to do that, but only if you take it. Only if you claim it, right? You are the power. You have the power. You do. Not anybody outside of you. Not anybody or anything outside of you. You do. Okay, I hope that was helpful. If you have any questions, let me know. You can let me know in the comments. Questions, any feedback, positive, nothing, nothing crazy. And check out my website, terralong.com. I'll put it below. I've got a couple courses, create your own private membership association, and of course my Be Free courses, which is it's available online now. Both are. You can go grab them. That's the whole enchilada. So it's going to take you, go on my website and you can check out what all is in that course. So, and I also am here to help you one-on-one with consults and things like that. So you can go to my website and to the natural law page and learn about how to access that. And if you want to receive emails from me, you can just sign up at the bottom of any of my pages on the website to get news from me. So, okay, thanks so much. We'll see you next time.